What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we are looking at AMD, and yes, finally, thank you trading gods, we finally broke out of that range! Yes, we're talking about this wonderful make-believe box that we've drawn around these very tight trading range between the $58 down to $50 level. We've finally broken out. We're going to be looking at some options activity going out. We have earnings coming out next week, so we'll go ahead and look at it. Again, we kind of talked about this slightly on the Patreon page of like, yes, free at last. AMD has finally broken out and has continued going higher. This is a really good sign moving forth for AMD. Again, it's really been a very patient game on trying to see on what the Hello Kitty is going on over there. Since the options activity is a little bit today not as powerful as we saw yesterday, here's a particular trade that I took a screenshot of. Is someone who was buying the August 21st of again, this is monthly expiration coming up for August, the 52 and a half calls for 2,000 total of 2,000 quantities, 2,000 contracts at $9.37. That is about $1.875 million bet. Again, this is on the coattails of it's a very deep in the money call. So they're looking for the potential stock and to coming to earnings next week to continue going higher. So we can kind of take a quick look at that. Again, that was the 52 and a half call. Again, that's already currently in the money. So we can kind of look here via the trading tab, and it was the 52 and a half. So that's right here. Still, again, there's a lot of open interest there. It's currently trading about nearly $10, so $1,000 per contract. Really strong. Again, the individual bought it for, what was that? $9.37. So, yeah, it's slightly up for a little bit of profit there, nearly about $2 million now. So let's go ahead and just dive into the chart here. We can, again, looking for the overall expiration of next week, which when it has earnings, we're looking for a pretty high IV of a move about $6-ish, $6.35. And we're seeing a lot of options activity really coming around the $65 calls. So you can kind of see here at the $65 calls, we're seeing about 10,000 open interest there right now, and we have just 6,000 contracts or volume traded today, and that same kind of equal to around the 62 and the $60 strike price call as well. So this is a pretty substantial amount of activity going on with AMD in the next coming weeks, again, due to the pretty large move that we saw just the past 2 or 3 days have been really rocketing up the stock, looking for potentially the 65 price target, which we're currently looking at. We have some much longer dated options. We have some out actually into next year's of March and into September. This has been a long-term hold for us. It's kind of been very painful to see the volatility really take this up and down, left and right, really ping-ponging in between these moving average or these make-believe trading ranges that we drew up here with our enchanted box of trying to break out. Had multiple attempts of trying to break above that $58 level. Really haven't had the opportunity to multiple times, but finally we saw a little bit of an opening. We took it, we bobbed and weaved, and we broke out above that. Not just by a little bit, we just said hello, and we just kicked in the door and knocked some front teeth out when we pushed that door open, and really got up to like the $62 level again, hitting a high just today at $62.33. So this has been a very strong move. Basically, let's see, from the low of this trading range, we are looking at a move of about 26%, so that's pretty substantial. Again, we were trading, we've been trading in this thing since like what's this, February, March, April, since the mid of April. We've been trading in this really tight range, while you've seen everything else just go up like a rocket ship. Everyone just climbing from everything from DocU, Nvidia, Apple, Tesla. Everything else has been literally just ratcheting higher. But Lisa Su and AMD was just really licking their chops, just waiting for the nice opportunity to finally get a nice little boost higher. And now with earnings coming out, I believe, on Tuesday. This is the 28th, so Tuesday the 28th. Yeah, so the Tuesday is the 28th. For earnings, that's going to be a pretty substantial move. Again, if you watch the channel more than 5 minutes, earnings is basically somewhat of a lucky coin flip, in the sense of like, hey, like Lisa Soon company is just going to say something really negative, or maybe the numbers are not as great for basically the new generation of PlayStation 5s coming out, which is the AMD has a major component in it. This is going to be a pretty large amount of potential headwind or movement and catalyst for it to continue going higher. As we said, we talked about that $65 price target, looking for that target. Again, that can happen today, that can happen next week, but we're looking for that price target to hit. So that is, and of course that didn't ping here, so we're doing the Fibonacci retracement from the previous swing high to low, and that is where the 1272 extension comes in, basically at $64, $65, looking for that initial break. So we saw that break of that 100% 100 percentile move here and here, which was around basically we call it the 58, basically this purgatory that we've had within the AMD stock, and finally breaking out. I know Ryan, who's a fantastic guy, who in the Discord, always very active and with trade ideas and different things, has been in AMD with me as well. I know there's other folks in the Discord as well who've been trading in and around AMD as well, and it's just been it's been a nice little day to feel a little relief and like, hey, whew, your patience paid off and things are finally going in the proper direction for AMD. And I feel sorry for if there's any bears on AMD. I apologize if this is really just flaunting in your face. It's just it's been a very very long couple months of just holding some options that I thought would have printed higher basically at the beginning of May, but I can't predict anything. I don't have a crystal ball. I was just playing the chart. It didn't really break below that $50 price target, and it just really just was a steady eddy, and just really tried to fake me out multiple times, and now it's finally coming into paying off. And so again, yeah, first price target we're going to be looking at is around $65. That's going to be the next overhead ceiling of resistance. Then potentially, if things can really get up and going, 73 is going to be the next overhead of ceiling of resistance on that behalf. To the downside, support's really going to come in basically around the previous where we broke out, which was around $58, and then after that it's going to be coming down to the 21 or potentially the $55 level there. So it's going to be a lot of movement again, especially with earnings on the horizon, so we can kind of get rid of this box. We can get that out of our life, put that in a bucket, burn it. All that has been forgotten. Now let's go ahead and look towards what could be up ahead. So we talked about earnings coming out next week, and the options movement is saying plus or minus $6. So we're currently at 62. So that $6 from where we're currently at is basically up to 70. So that's basically up here. We can draw the beginning of this box. If I can find the drawing tool, there we go. So 70, and then minus $6 where we're currently at. Let's just call it $62, or we can call it $62. Give it a little bit of cushion on both sides. That would come down to 56. We can call that right about here. So this is kind of like what we're looking at. What we're looking at for the trading range coming into earnings of next week. So actually move that a little bit closer. There we go. So this is what we're looking for, the trading range potentially within AMD. It is, again, this is what the market makers are saying. So you can look again, how we did that was we looked for the options expiration for when earnings is coming out, and they're saying plus or minus $6.29 now. So this is basically could be potentially, this could break either direction. Doesn't mean that it has to stay or being contained in this box. This is just what the likelihood of what the market makers and those folks are saying there. We'll see on how everything gets entailed there. Again, this is going to be pretty large earnings announcements. AMD again has been very much of a sleeper, and now just getting the power to really bust through, and it's really getting on a lot of people's radars. And we'll hopefully can have this move continue. My only fear is that this move kind of came in too early. Basically, this could have been the earnings move, this large green candle here. But we've seen these large green moves before, and then it kind of just sells off. But like as you can see here, so I wasn't going to be completely celebrating until we get past earnings, and then if we can continue stay above the $60 price target, potentially break to 65, then I'll be extremely happy, maybe popping some champagne bottles and looking for some really nice profit taking around the 65, potentially even to 70, if things can look really stellar for AMD. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you did not catch it, I mentioned before, we also have a fantastic Discord you can completely join for free. That's in the description down below. We also have a fantastic Patreon page where I post different various things. So I'll talk about different charts, I'll give you different various breakdowns of what we could be looking at and different things, discussing that. We talked about Workhorse, we talked about all other kinds of equities and things like that. I'm definitely looking for that. You can join that, and that directly helps support the channel membership there. Definitely check that out. And if you're interested on some live streams coming up, we have another live stream coming up Sunday, probably around 9:30 to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be, again, talking for the next potential week of what earnings could be announced and looking at those various charts. Just having fun with the gang and everything, and just really just talking stocks and options with a fantastic technical analysis and great camaraderie between the chat and everything. Again, guys, thank you again so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!